Hello to anybody that's out there listening. If anybody is watching, hi. My name's Jessica, and I will post a video every once in a while, and it's just going to be my ranting and raving either about a TV show, book, or something else that catches my fancy. But today, or this video, is going to be about Once Upon a Time. And I just started the show about 2.5 days ago, and I am all the way done from the episode that just aired. Well, yesterday, I guess. And I wish I had taken notes as I was watching it, but I hadn't realized I would want to do a video after I was done. But I have wrote down what I have remembered and everything else, and hopefully as I'm talking, it'll spur me to remember other things that I was thinking about. Alright, I was hesitant to watch the show only because I've never really been a big fan of the Disney characters. And that, like, I've never been a fan of Snow White. I've never been a fan of Cinderella. The only really character that I knew growing up was like, or liked was Mulan. Only because I saw her such like this kick-ass kind of character who, you know, her people or her society were like, no, you're a woman, you gotta do this, and she was like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna go do my shit. Alright? I don't know what you're doing, but I'm doing my shit. And I liked that. And I guess, you know, in a lot of ways, the fairy tales are a lot more removed now. Like, how Snow White and all them acted are completely different than what is considered the norm for how women act today. And so that was just something I never really connected with as a child or growing up. You know, I never really connected with that in a sense. So I was really, really hesitant to watch this show, but like all things that I've ended up watching usually, Tumblr wore me down. And finally I got tired of seeing it on my dashboard and not knowing what it meant. So I caved. And I like how the show introduces these characters in a newer way, in a much more modernized way that can be relatable to more modern audiences. The fact that Snow White is this take charge, kick ass, wise, and in many other ways has her flaws. And the same with Prince Charming. You know, the fact that he got the name Prince Charming out of sarcasm, and the fact that he like trapped her in a net, in like this trap, and she's like, well, aren't you charming? And yeah, like, just such a different shake on things in a lot of ways. And I will admit now, I am not very good with the whole Snow White, the fairy tale legends. I'm not good with them. I'm not. It's never my thing. So be warned. But when it started out, I was like, okay, the first episode, I was like, okay, this is okay, whatever, you know, it's good. And then watch the second episode, okay, I think it was by the third or fourth, and I was like, okay, I need more, and I need more, and I need more, and I need more, and why do I have to go to class right now, or why do I have to go to work? I need more of this. So yeah, it didn't hit me all at once that I really liked it, but it got to me. First and foremost, I will argue with anybody who says this is a story simply about Snow White or the Charming family. The royal family, the Charmings, whatever you want to call them, whatever nickname you got for them, I like them all. But because there is one guy that no matter what story you're looking into, he has his fingers in. And that is Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin, I think is Rumpelstiltskin? Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. Rumpelstiltskin. And I don't know if he's a good guy. I don't think he's a good guy, but I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's really after his own ends. And if his ends happen to fall on the side of the good, then they fall on the side of the good. If they fall on the side of the bad, they fall on the side of the bad. It's just how it goes. And the idea that he was always a coward. I like his backstory, and that he has always been a coward. Because he didn't want to fight. Which I don't really see that as cowardly. Not that I'm saying that you should not fight when you're basically drafted to go and fight, but it's back then I don't think they could have put down it goes against my religious beliefs or something like that to get out of it. So he was labeled a coward. And I feel for him, but I also just want to smack him because he became a power-hungry coward. And, he, like, when his son got that magical bean or whatever, and they wanted to go to and he wanted to take him to a land without magic, a part of me felt like, when he started freaking out about how he couldn't, I feel like that was that was his curse. That was the Dark One's curse, telling him to freak out. And that's why he was like, no, I can't go. And that made me sad, because once that portal closed, he realized that he had let that curse take over him and not let him go, and he was separated from his son. And he feels really bad about that. So yeah, before I get on to anything else, I love Rumpel. I do. He's a cool dude. Emma, the idea of Emma and Henry, I can imagine that call-in, like that audition for anybody, because it's like, yeah, where it's going to be a show about Snow White and Cinderella and Prince Charming and the Seven Dwarves and all these people, and yeah, you're going to play Emma. Wait, who's Emma? Oh, she's a original character, right in? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, you're not going to get to be a princess. You're not. No big shot names for you. Just Emma and Henry. And there are a lot of people who or not a lot of people, but there are some people I've seen and heard, since I know I've only been watching it for 2.5 days, but you can learn a lot from Tumblr and YouTube in 2.5 days while watching this, okay? It's crazy. That some people don't like Henry, or just think him really stupid or naive. And it makes me angry. Because I love Henry. At the very beginning, that's the only reason I watched it. I kept watching it was because of Henry. And I will admit, I don't know the actor's name that plays him. But the chemistry, him and, Jennifer Morrison, is that her name? The woman who plays Emma? Their chemistry together. And that whole relationship. I adored it. And Henry to me is like, and also apparently nobody understood why Henry was aging and nobody else was, because time was standing still. When I realized that people didn't understand that, I was really confused, because I was like, that was obvious to me, that because he had been born in this world, that the curse had no effect on him. He was brought into the town. And because he had the lineage of being the grandson to Snow White and Prince Charming, allowed him to be more brought into that town, along with Rumpelstiltskin, obviously, who created the curse in the first place. And that he aged, but nobody else realized this, or realized that they weren't aging, and only he was. Which to me would be freaky, because obviously he realizes at some point that nobody else is aging, and that time doesn't move here. Which must be a really lonely thing to live with, because anybody you tell about this is going to think you're crazy. And then when he gets that storybook and he's like, I promise, this is, hold on, I have to check the time, sorry. Okay, I don't have my glasses on right now, so I can't see anything hardly. But he's like, nobody else will believe me, or whatever. And when he gets the book, and he realizes that, you know, Mary Margaret is Snow White, and his mother is the evil queen. That has to be terrifying. Because not only do you tell people this and they think you're nuts, but you believe in it so much that it's the truth. How terrifying must that be to know that you are living with the evil queen? Not only are you living with the evil queen, but you are living in the evil queen's version of her own happy ending. I would be terrified. He is a stronger person than me, because I would have curled up into a ball and cried. Which I also think, they mention it at some point. I think it's Emma when he says nobody can leave or bad things happen. And Emma's like, well, you left. And he said, well, I didn't have a choice. You know, I was a child. I had to come back eventually. I don't think that's true. Because like he ages normally, I think he could leave Storybrooke. I think he could. I don't know necessarily what would happen. I don't think anything bad would happen to him if he tried to leave. Just like nothing bad would happen to Emma if she tried to leave. So yeah, because they weren't around when the curse was put on to the people of Storybrooke. They're just of that lineage. I think I'm gonna have to make 2 videos because this is getting kind of long. So this might be part 1. Oh, and Henry's. How many times does Henry have to tell people in the first season and the second, especially the second when the curse is lifted and, like, nobody listens to this kid. He's like, it's not how it goes. It's not how it works. And nobody believes him. Nobody. Because he's like, Frankenstein isn't a part of the fairy tale characters, which was what I was thinking. I was like, how does this go together? Alright, because everybody we've met so far have been like BFFs, or at least known about each other. So how does this work out? How does that happen? And when he's like, he's not in this book. So who knows what other realms have been touched? And they're all like, I'm going to bed. Shut up. Or he keeps like telling me, he's like, let me help. Let me help you out and figure this out with you. And they're like, no, you're a kid. Go. For 10 years he kept this secret and watched them. For 10 years. And you can't give that kid the common decency of listening to him? It pisses me off. It pisses me off. Yeah, but I think this is where I'm going to end my first video, and I will have the second part uploaded pretty soon. That way, continuing this, so it'll be part 2 of this, because I have plenty more that I want to rant about. But, yeah, so thanks for watching, and if you watched, please like or comment and tell me what I could do differently, because I haven't ever really done this before. And, yeah, so, thanks.